Hi friends, welcome back to our channel. I'm Luke.
And I'm Dan.
And we got a garden update for you. So we're gonna go walking through the garden and show you guys how everything is growing. And we'll get probably some gardening tips along the way. So stick around. Here we go.
All right. Now we'll start here at the corn, sweet corn. This is the Vision sweet corn. And you can see it's grown quite a bit since the last time we did a walkthrough. I think it was just a few inches tall, if any, or maybe just coming out of the ground. I don't remember. But yeah, it's starting to tassel here. You can see. So it's looking good. And it looks even all the way across. You don't have a lot of irregular, short, tall, yellow, green. That's all consistent. That's what you want. I did have something, I think a spray plane must have gone over and was spraying or dripping something, because you see all these little spots on here.
Oh yeah, that is definitely
a little mist from some spray plane going over. It's not going to hurt production, it just it's kind of ugly. So, and this is another planting here, and you can see the same thing. It's got little spots on it. There's a bad one there. So
yeah,
not nice, but that's life in your gardening. So anyway, that's another plant coming up. And then we got zucchini and crookneck. Usually the swash bugs wipe me out before this stage. So far we haven't seen a single bug anywhere. And so they're looking good.
Yeah, they're looking good.
We're going to, I'm running them vertical this time instead of just letting them sprawl over the ground. It kind of helps make it a little easier looking for bugs if there's going to be squash bugs. And I prune off the lower leaves that are laying, they usually lay right against the ground, and I don't like that because the bugs can kind of come up underneath there and hide. So
I think we're going to make a separate video on pruning the zucchini. So stick around, guys.
Yeah.
There'll be another video coming out right shortly here. We're going to demonstrate how to prune your zucchini.
And I do pollinating just in case the bees aren't doing their job. So I do that by hand.
What do you just use your finger, or what do you mean by hand?
Just take the male flower off of the wheel here. Maybe I can show you on this. Looks like a blossom drop. I'm not sure if this is a female. No, this is the male. So I usually just take a fresh one, not an old one like this. Just peel off the blossom like that. And there's all the pollen on this stigma here.
Yep.
And so then you find the female. It's got the fruit behind the blossom, like this right here. And you just rub this thing on that center stigma down there, and just kind of poke it around and go like that. And you know it's pollinated. And you can use one of these and do several, depending on how much pollen is on this. You can see, yeah, this one's pretty well gone. It doesn't have much pollen. It's a little bit right on the tip there, but it's very little. Let's see if we can find another one that's got a little more pollen than that.
So we could barely start our garden tour. Now you guys are getting some front and center gardening tips here.
Here's another one that's folded up and it's not as fresh.
Well, there you go.
This doesn't have much pollen on it either.
Let me see if we can get that to focus in the frame here.
Usually you'll have a bunch of pollen laying around down the bottom. There's just a few grains down there. You can't hardly see it. Maybe there's another one. Let's see. Keep looking. One that's a little fresher. Let's see if we can find one that's got some pollen on it here. It's not too old. No, that's not any better. Maybe another flower along here. Let's see if we can find. Oh, that's a female, so that's not going to have anything. No, I guess we're out of luck for finding something that's got a bunch of pollen on it. Just double check this one, make sure.
Was?
Yeah.
Not much on there?
No. It'll be like little fuzzy, darker yellow grains on there, and there'll be a bunch laying around in here. it's already fallen off by the time you get it. But yeah, this is pretty much all gone.
Uh-huh.
And you get a little bit on my finger, but it's, you can see a few little tiny grains, but it wouldn't be very good to use that as for pollinating. It wouldn't be enough. So anyway, that's how you pollinate them in case the bugs aren't doing their job. These are these are called Bossa Nova zucchinis, and we really like them. They're very productive.
Oh, look at them. The color is unique.
And some of them, it seems like they don't even need pollinating. It's been strange. They just grow big without even opening up. The blossom doesn't even open up for some reason. I don't know how it does it, but anyway, that's what we've been having. And they were really productive. They just grow like crazy. I mean, tomorrow that's even probably be ready to pick. It's just,
really,
they grow really fast.
Wow, nice.
But they do tend to be a pretty fast grower, the rest of the plant too, and just makes a huge, big old vine, which I don't like. So I trim and prune those and just make them run vertical.
Yeah, so we'll cover that.
Yeah.
Here in another video.
This is pea trellis that the peas are way up here. We just harvested all those and threw the vines in the compost, and replanted with some sweet corn right along this drip line, these 2 drip lines, and that drip line over there. So we'll have just a small little planting, just my wife and I. We don't need a lot, and that'll still make it before frost. I usually plant it up until July 4th, and it's still good. And this is just a miscellaneous tomato plant I had. I didn't want to throw in the compost, so it's growing up the side here, and I'll just run it across the top of this trellis. So it's just there. And of course, chives are blooming and they're done blooming now. I need to clip all the tops off and put those in the compost.
Yep.
We got a bunch of celery here we've been using. We just see there's a nice stalks there. We just cut those outer ones and use it until we have time to just harvest the whole plant and process it and put it in the freezer.
Yeah, they look really good. I mean, they just look like they're thriving.
They're nice and healthy looking.
Yeah.
And they're kind of in the shade partway here.
I can
this
see
compost bin roof, and they like shade. Not too much shade though. And then we got beets here with the terrible leaf miners, like always. If you don't have a cover over them, that's what they look like. If you have leaf miners, they look awful, but they still produce great beets. There's a little beet right there. Just
getting there.
Yeah, it's got a long ways to go.
See if I can get that to lock in focus here.
Here's a little bit bigger one here.
Oh yeah.
It's about 2 1/4 inches in diameter.
Yeah, you can see a few down there.
Started.
Yeah.
And then we've got another planting of corn. This is 2 different varieties that we're growing to see which one we like best. And over here we got the trellis. This is a stock panel, and these are Determinate tomatoes all along here.
These are those Bobcat varieties, or some of them?
Yeah, the Bobcats. Yeah, that's what those are.
Yeah, what is your thoughts on this stock panel type trellising? It's something that you don't normally do.
Yeah, I don't. This is the first time I've done it. I kind of like it so far. We'll see how the season goes. The thing I like about it, I can just go along and bump it like that, and that helps pollinate everything on the whole panel. Oh,
can I just try that?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Ready?
Here you go. Yeah. You just pollinated all my tomatoes.
Kicking Dad's tomato trellis. Hey, what's this? Could you explain what's going on here with the twine here? And I can see it over here too.
As they grow up, I may need to run one more string on there. I just go around each one and just to keep it up on the trellis so it doesn't just fall over and just be a big old mess on the ground.
So you don't necessarily actually clip the actual stalks to the trellis in this method, because these are determinates. They're pretty bushy.
Yeah, these bobcats are really bushy. I mean, they're a very aggressive plant.
Yeah. So your method is more just kind of stick a twine around the outside of it and pull it tight.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah. See if we can keep it tidy, and so there's airflow underneath it, so they're not all on the ground.
Wet. Let me get a shot down here, just kind of people can see how organized this looks and how close in.
Here's, you can see there's tomatoes right here.
Okay, let's see. Take a look at that closer.
Yeah, there's
Oh,
one
yeah.
here, down there. There's 2 more over there, and there's more over here. We've had it up to 101 degrees already, and so there's probably going to be some blossoms in here that aren't going to take, but they are setting. And there's another bunch there. So they're coming on. They're looking good. They look healthy and they look good. I haven't pruned these at all. I'm just letting them go. I may do some pruning. I don't know. I don't normally grow determinates. So I'm going to learn just like maybe some of you folks are learning. We're just.
You're determinate to learn.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, that's what it is.
Yeah.
And then there's carrots along here beside it.
Yeah.
Not a smart place to plant carrots because you saw our carrot video, which I don't really care if I grow carrots or not. You know, got tall corn on one side and we got tall tomatoes on the other side, so they're going to get shaded out. And that doesn't hurt my feelings any. So anyway, that's the carrots. And then I think the last video we showed mulching this little bit of cilantro I just planted, and I put mulch. I took the old plants.
There was the old.
And here's what it is. How they're germinating and coming up good.
Yeah.
And just a little bit of mulch on there makes a big difference when you got such hot weather. And we got some lettuce here coming on. It's looking pretty good. It looks like maybe my wife has picked some of the lower leaves off of it already because it's not on the ground anymore. So that helps keep the bugs from just sitting under there and munching on stuff. Yeah, it looks like she's picked the bottom lower leaves off these red ones too. These are dark red. I think these are called Merlin, if I remember right.
Yeah, nice looking little heads there,
Just
starting to produce.
Add color to your salad.
Yeah.
And then some more celery at this end. And this was a whole bed of lettuce, red and green. Now I'm just putting green lettuce down here. And you can notice that they're 16 inches apart. And then I'll go along and thin these. These are ready to be thinned now. And to thin them, I just go down and just pull out a plant. I try to save the one I like the best. And pull that guy out. And I think I will leave this one. There. That's all there is to thinning the lettuce. Leave
Easy peasy.
one plant per spot. That way you don't have.
So you go from that to that.
Yeah. I usually wait till at least this big. That way, if you do it too early, like maybe right this size here, it's too easy for bugs to just come wipe out one little tiny plant. So I like to get a little bit more size on them, like this at least, before I thin them all. Gives a better chance of them surviving if any kind of a pest attack. So, and then they get, you've seen other videos, I think they get, huge. They get up to 20 some inches, 22, 24 inches around.
Yeah.
So they get huge.
Yeah, that's unusual for this kind of lettuce.
Just a volunteer Walla Walla sweet onion, I let it go, it just came up on its own.
Yeah, so what's we got here?
And we got a bunch of garlic, and a lot of it's gone to witch's broom, which, like, here's a good example of a witch's broom. See all these green spikes coming up here?
Yeah.
Shouldn't be that way. It should be like this one right here.
Oh, just like the main stalk. Hang on, see if I can get that to focus in the camera here. Yeah, so that's a clean main stalk.
Yeah.
And this is witch's broom right here.
Witch's broom right here. Just all these
skinny little needles.
Skinny things coming. That's what it means is the soil was too hot. I mean, too rich, and so it's made it do this. And the cloves are starting to grow and send out.
Oh, that means that the actual cloves are starting to grow.
That's what they say. But we dug one yesterday.
Yeah.
And it looked perfect. and there was nothing wrong with it. So I'm just waiting to see. We'll harvest these.
Yeah.
I've never had so many witch's broom, but we'll see what the bulb actually looks like. I was expecting them to be, each clove was shooting out green tops and not really usable, but they were just perfect. There was nothing wrong with them.
Huh.
So we're learning.
Well, hopefully you don't get too deep into witches' brooms.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound too good, Dad.
Not good. Yeah, then we got some more Walla Walla sweet onions growing here. There's a late start on these. And these are a bunch of small ones that I need to pull and transplant into a different area. Maybe today I'll get to it, I'm not sure. More celery down here. So you got 4 ends of beds with celery in them. And then there's lettuce, same thing here, more lettuce growing. And it's pretty much ready to
thin out.
Get down to one plant. Most people just plant a whole row of seeds, and then they get this whole mass of plants growing in a row, and you don't get nice heads, you don't get big leaves, you get all these small, tall, skinny ones because they're all crowded, jammed together, and you need to separate them. And being that my drips system, the emitters are 8 inches apart, I just space them 16 inches apart, so I know if they're getting water, the water's right there on each plant. And
you just put them right by the emitter.
Yeah, and they germinate good. You don't have any problem with germination.
Yeah.
And it works really good. And this is more garlic, the whole bed of garlic here. There's some Misc garlic on this side, and those are just other porcelain type garlics. I'm really anxious to dig some of these Miscs to see what they're like because they're huge.
Yeah, that'll be fun. We'll try to get that on video in the future.
And then the next bed here is Walla Walla sweets on this side here. You can kind of see their foliage is a little more blue, and the storage onions are more green. Don't know if you'll see that in the video, but
yeah, it's a little bit bluer over here on the right side compared to the
those are all Walla Walla sweets here.
Lighter green on the left.
And there's a few that have gone to seed, so I'm just leaving them go to seed, and we'll save the seed from these heads here. The onion themselves, they don't make a bulb when they go to seed. But yeah, we're getting some nice sized ones over here.
Let's take a look.
Walla
Walla sweets, nice sized ones. Here we come.
They're coming along. They're getting there. They're not huge yet, but they'll get there.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys can see that, if we're pulling focus correctly on these onions. Oh yeah, there we go. Let's try another one here. Nice. Yeah, some nice onions there.
And they're actually being watered right now. The whole garden is being watered all at once. Even though it's windy, with a drip system, you just turn it on and you can water anytime, day or night. Of course, I never water at night, but if you had to, you could.
Yeah, if you're in a really hot climate.
Yeah. So the storage onions are the ones we keep. A lot of them are Patterson. That's what we like for storage onions. They keep really well for the whole year until you're harvesting the next year's crop. We just put them in the store where it keeps it about 41 degrees. And then the pepper trellis, peppers are coming up, getting close to the top net.
Yeah, let me get around over there and see what they look like.
And we still got a graduation of size because of that high tunnel, the little tunnels that the broccoli and cabbage are in next to it, shaded.
Let's see.
Shaded the one side.
Oh yeah, look at this. See if I can get this.
Find some peppers?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of peppers.
Can you?
Those are Carmen's.
Oh yeah, look at those. Lots of them. You can see a lot of peppers there.
Yeah, just loaded.
Loaded. You see all those, folks? There's a lot of peppers.
There's a whole bunch on this side over here. Really on your side, but over here there's a bunch. Yeah, it was kind of a late season for the peppers. We're finally getting warm, hot weather, and now they're really starting to take off.
Yeah, I mean they look like they're really starting to go.
Won't be long, and they'll be through this top layer.
Healthy looking. Yeah. Nice and good color. There's a couple over there that look a little bit.
Yeah, those are a different variety. Those are probably lunchbox, and they're a shorter.
I see.
And they've struggled more
Because of that.
right next to that tunnel that was shading them.
And they didn't get the heat they should have had.
Yeah, but they're picking up.
Yeah.
And just be a little later, which is fine. We don't have them all at once.
There. Yeah.
And this is a bed where we took out all the broccoli and cabbage and cauliflower with the tunnel over it, the netting over it, the row cover.
Right.
And I've planted corn, half of this. Down there's corn, hasn't come up yet. And down here is some squash. This is sunshine, winter squash. And if the squash bugs don't come, we'll get some squash. It's a bright orange, kind of smallish squash. And boy, it's super sweet. And it's kind of a dry and dark orange flesh in it. It makes wonderful pumpkin pies. I love it. And it's just really good for just eating squash.
Yeah.
And here's another planting of corn. You can see it just poking through.
Oh, let's
Only about
see
an inch
this.
and a half tall.
Yeah.
So we just keep succession planting corn all until July 4th, and then pretty much done because it won't mature. And this bed was where more brassicas were.
Then we got more corn down here.
Yeah, another planting.
Going on. Yeah, another planting.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I haven't
Good.
thinned these yet. There's still, there's two or so each deal. I just need to go through, and once I get about a foot tall, I go through and I cut off the smallest one. And we got just a fig tree and a little miscellaneous blueberry bush here that I didn't want to throw away, so I just stuck it in there, and it's doing pretty good actually, producing a lot of berries.
Yeah. Look at that.
I need to get a net over because they're just starting to turn. You can see there's a couple blue ones over. It's just starting to turn there.
Yeah. Sure enough.
And then we got blueberries and strawberries in here. You've got the net put over it. This is one big net now instead of two nets, one big net. And then my wife sewed this fabric, polyester fabric, around the edge so we can put rocks on it to hold it down. And so it's not just rocks on the netting because it still blows around, birds can get under it.
Like that?
But with this netting, with this fabric on there, it just lays down so nice and flat. And works really well. And it's easy to get in there if you need. You just lift the rock and climb in. So I was in there yesterday getting a bunch of weeds out of there.
Looks like you have too many blueberries. Can I climb in there?
What's that?
You have too many blueberries, it looks like. Can I climb in there?
Well, I can pick you a couple here. I just reach underneath the net maybe and get you a couple of blueberries. Oh, those look awful good. Look at them.
Oh yeah, yum.
Yummy. Here you go.
Thank you, Dad.
Yeah. Now your teeth will be blue for the rest of the video. Ha ha.
Yeah, at least they'll know why. And no, I wasn't drinking some kind of weird something with blue food coloring in it.
So the everbearing strawberries are called Albion, and they're just right in between. You know how they kind of give a spurt of berries and then they stop and then they rebloom and give another spurt. So they're right in between now, just getting ready to give another crop of berries. And do that all summer.
Wow, there's just so many blueberries. Look at them. They're just so producing nicely. Yeah. And they're really yummy.
And grapes, these are all seedless, different varieties of seedless table grapes. And we got yellow and red raspberries. I love these yellow ones.
They look like they're, oh yeah, I can see a couple here.
They're really, they have a different flavor, of course, than the red ones. I like them. And they're all summer.
Yeah?
And right up to frost.
Really?
Yeah.
So
whereas
just
the red's going to be down here in a little bit.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they just keep going.
Huh.
So
Yeah. You can see the red ones are doing pretty well over here.
they're kind of, all the best pickings are done. The first 2 or 3 pickings are the biggest, nicest berries, and now they're getting a little smaller,
Yeah.
but they're still good. And then we got potatoes here. There's 3
Mhm.
rows of potatoes with all different amendments put in each row, so we can test and see what amendments work the best and produce the most potatoes and the biggest. So it'll be fun to dig those up and see what we got.
Yeah, those are really filled in. A solid patch of potatoes.
Yeah, and they're just 3 rows, and they're close to 3 feet tall.
Yeah, I think so.
And then the tomato row of the eating tomatoes,
Yeah.
and you can see, oh, look at that.
What happened there, Dad?
Kind of sad looking, isn't it? Here's what happened. I clipped it too high up on the plant, like.
You mean you used the tomato clip too high?
I used this too high,
Yeah.
or it's too tender, and we get a lot of wind, and so it just thrashes the plant back and forth, and it snapped the growing tip off. So now we got a plant that's shut down for a little bit, but you can see right here there's a sucker coming up. So I'll just let that go, and that'll be the new main leader as soon as it gets bigger.
Yeah, let me see if I can get that just in get it nice and focused for folks. Yeah.
So try not to put the clips too close to the top where it's a thin tender. You want to put it right underneath the leaf branch like that, where it's nice and thick, and you'll never have a problem like that. But I was not smart, and I put it too close to the top. It'd be like putting a clip right up here and right there, and that's too close to the top. You want it down here further, where it's heavier, thicker stem and tougher. So these are all different kinds of tomatoes, and you can see like this is really nice foliage and heavy, thick leaves.
Yeah.
And these like here is more lacy and frilly.
Yeah, they're kind of thinner, and
Yeah,
I don't. They're all curled around in funny directions.
Yeah, I don't like the looks of this, but these are Hart tomatoes, and most of your Harts grow this way. And the Harts are, in my estimation, they're about the best tomato around.
For eating?
Yeah, because they're so meaty. They don't have those big seed pockets of gel in them. They're just solid meat, and it makes a really nice tomato slice.
Yeah?
And doesn't also fall apart. And that's why we got quite a few of these.
I was looking at these and I said, what's going on with these ones? Why are they so, they look a little leggy almost.
Yeah.
Really, not as much leaves.
They look sick.
And they're like the stems are flipped over upside down and stuff. So some of these kind of need some trellising perhaps.
Yeah, they need.
And so we're going to do a separate video on that. We're just going to kind of give you a quick update on tomato trellising and also some pruning.
Yeah.
So stick around. We'll have another video coming out on that shortly.
Yeah, I've kind of held off on doing that on these so we can go through and make a video.
Yeah.
So these are what, 5 feet tall or so. And they're setting tomatoes. There's tomatoes there, but
and you have the shade cloth up above here. 40%. Is that what that is?
30%.
30%.
Yeah, aluminate.
Yeah.
Type of shade cloth. And it works good. I really like the aluminate. It's the best in my opinion. So yeah, we'll just go through and do some pruning on that, show you how to do pruning and how to clip them up.
And the double leader system, that means 2 different twine that we're training them up. So each plant has 2 different main leaders off of the main root.
And these are just volunteer cosmos plants I let go from last year. They just self-sowed themselves. I didn't do anything. And I just kind of deadheaded them so they keep looking halfway decent. And then we've got beets under here, so we don't have any leaf miner problem in here. Yeah,
let's see what they look like. I'm sure people will be interested.
I thinned them a while ago, and I haven't been here to look and see what's in here. Maybe there's a bunch of weeds. Oh, look at them all. See how nice green those greens are?
Yeah, I see that.
And there's no leaf miners, and they're beautiful.
Yeah.
No problem.
And you don't really weed much in here, you're saying?
No, I haven't done any weeding in here. It's just sitting here. There might be some weeds in there somewhere, but I don't see any right off the bat.
Wow, this is nice.
And I thin these to 2 or 3 inches apart because my beets get really big.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, you can.
That one, that's not leaf miners. That's like dead from being the netting or
Yeah,
rocks sitting on it. Yeah,
rocks sitting on the edge of it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want good beet greens, no bugs, just put this roll cover conduit hoops. Easy peasy.
Yeah.
And you have no leaf miners, and you have beautiful beets. Just a miscellaneous row of potatoes. These are seed potatoes from last year that I've never had good success growing, saving seed potatoes.
Yeah.
So I'm trying it again, and see, they just don't look good. The leaves don't look good. That's the way they always look when you grow them.
So this is from your old stock from
Yeah.
that
From
we
last
stored. Yep. Mm-hmm. And you cut them up, or did you
No,
just
I
plant them
didn't cut 'em,
whole?
I just plant them whole.
Okay.
They just don't look good.
Well,
but I want to see what's
underneath them.
what's in the ground. That's what counts.
Yeah.
They can be ugly up on top, like some of us are, and something better underneath.
Are you saying people look like potatoes?
Planting of cilantro there, and another little short planting of beans, just bush beans, green beans. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 plantings of the bush beans, just so we can have fresh green beans.
Yeah.
And because we don't need any of the process this year, we got enough in the freezer to last us a whole nother year.
Mm-hmm.
So save our backs from all the picking.
Yeah, and then what do you have going on here?
That's honeydew melons. And so I love honeydew. They're just big green melons. They're super sweet. And I put these in a row, and I wanted more than what I grow over here on the trellis. Well, before we get to that, here's cucumbers growing, eating cucumbers.
Yeah.
Just, not little tiny things, but not pickle type.
Uh-huh.
So this here, I needed to clip this up. It's getting kind of hanging out here like this.
That's
Not
it.
good. And here's a leaf right here. And this is another vine that's going to take off right at that juncture.
Oh, it's kind of like a sucker
Like
for
a
a
sucker
tomato,
on a
just
tomato.
the same kind of principle.
So I just pull that off of there until the plants get about 4 feet tall. Then I can let one of these grow if I want.
Uh-huh.
But for now, I don't want any of those growing. I leave the cucumber right there.
Oh, I see the little baby cucumbers starting to come.
Yeah. But I take off the vine so we don't have, it needs to have more leaves on the vine to be able to feed those things.
Mm-hmm.
Bring them to maturity good.
So you just clip that on
I
there?
just clip that up here at the top. There you go. And strap that up.
What would you say are some of the most important amendments for cucumbers while we're doing this video?
The important amendments, you say?
Yeah, like just some foundational amendments for cucumbers.
Well, I think your bone meal would be probably your best all around.
You-
Because you got your phosphorus and you got
a little bit of nitrogen.
A little bit of nitrogen
Uh-huh.
in it, and then maybe a little bit of either green sand or sulfate of potash for the fruit size to get bigger cucumbers.
Oh, so there you go, person on YouTube. Thank you for asking a question. So now you got your question answered up front and center.
Yeah, and you can use kelp too. Kelp's got some potassium in it that will help with fruit size. So yeah, these need to be trimmed. They've got more suckers coming off here that I don't want on there, so I just pull those off. There's another one here. Looks like that one kind of got scorched by the sun.
Mm-hmm.
So then now we just add another clip up here.
Hey, I see why you like those shorts that you wear, Dad, now.
Hey, yeah, see this?
See that?
See?
What has he got in there? It's the gardener's.
Yeah, the gardener.
The gardener's
Pockets
method of
it.
using those shorts.
You got pockets everywhere. You got clippers. Yeah. Oh, there's some more tomato clips. They can go in here. Yeah.
Clippers and clips and
You got-
everything.
You got things that mark your plants, and I won't go in the other pockets
There's probably some secret amendments that make
for the giant tomatoes.
tomatoes grow crazy, huh?
So I need to get these. These are the honeydew melons here, right here. So I need to get these strung up. I gotta put strings up here and get these up on the trellis. And that'll help shade these tomatoes here so they don't get sun scald. Because, you know, tomatoes sitting out like this, and then it gets 100 some degrees, they're going to get burnt.
Okay.
So then with this growing up here, that'll shade that.
Yeah, and this side of the trellis is the south side.
Yeah, or it just gets cooking hot.
So you're going to be directly shading them.
So I'll get strings and we'll clip those vines up. And then there's the fruit grows, and I've got hammocks that I just put around the fruit and tie up to the rod up here, this rod up here, and that'll support the fruit until it's ready to pick.
Can you tell somebody about like some of the issues we have with the string and exposure to sun and UV?
Yeah,
we should probably tell folks about that.
Yeah, like on that side, the north side, because the sun's hitting it. The south side.
The south side has the board to block it.
Blocks the sun.
Like right now, it's in the shade. You can see the twine at the top's in the shade, right there.
On that side, it's always in the sun. And last year, every single one of those twines ended up breaking, you know, at different days and dropping the tomato plant down to the ground. And sometimes they break, sometimes they don't. So with this netting, I think that'll probably stop that from happening. We'll find out this year.
Yeah, so we were thinking of some solutions, and we put it on our new trellis design plan. So we just put some 1x4s, 1x6s across the top there, resting flat, horizontal.
Yeah, right up here.
Yeah, across on the top.
Yeah.
So going the whole length of the trellis, and that would shade that whole rod that the twine is tied onto. Or you can just take like some aluminum foil tape, like duct tape, and just put a piece over right where each twine is tied around that rod. That's pretty easy, fast way to do it.
Just something to block the sun.
Yep.
And here's another plant of cilantro. Is just about ready to harvest. We'll probably take a bunch of that to the market and sell it at the fruit stand.
Yeah.
What we don't eat, what we eat, we'll eat. But we'll have extra. We don't eat all that. Oh, what you're eating when you're walking on my watermelons.
Again, I'm just keeping it up. Thanks.
You'll be all right. Just a few extra potatoes here.
Yeah. You know, I should invest in some rear-facing eyes.
Yeah, you need some rear view mirrors.
I guess I'm not a mom. You know, most moms can see at the back of their head. If the camera's shaking or something, then you'll see that I'm having to dance between the...
Actually, a watermelon on here.
Oh, growing.
Yeah, a little tiny one.
Oh, yeah, sure
enough. Looks like you got bruised, but it'll be all right.
Oh, have a birthmark.
There'll be a lot more. We got like 55 watermelon plants in here. So lots of watermelon. So they're finally starting to run now with the heat, and they're doing their thing.
I'm looking at where I'm going here.
So there's different varieties of watermelons. This used to be all green beans, bush beans, and we didn't eat it this year, so we just put in watermelons.
Yeah.
And I think
it's looking good.
It is near the end of it.
People always ask, what's this windmill for? Does it power anything? And so
it doesn't power anything. It's just there for looks, and supposedly the vibration that it creates as that thing spinning around supposed to help keep the gophers and moles away. But we've got mole issues. They might like that vibration. I don't know. So it hasn't kept all the moles away. And it didn't keep all the gophers away last year either. So anyway, it is what it is. Maybe it's doing some good, but it's not the cat's meow.
Yeah.
I think that's about it for the garden here.
Yeah, we're going to do a separate video on the giant tomatoes in the greenhouse.
Yeah.
And so kind of give you guys a sneak peek at that, what's growing there.
Yeah.
We got some possibles.
Yeah, we got some decent ones in there.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens in a couple weeks or whatever it is before we harvest them.
Yeah.
And it might be some more world records coming out of there.
Yeah.
Let's see. So far, so good.
It's exciting.
And the grapes have done really well over there on the fence there. There's much more seedless table grapes.
Oh yeah.
That are
See that?
just loaded with, down at this end, Luke, there's look at all those grapes everywhere in here. And just all
Yeah, I can see that. And then
Lots of
there's a
grapes.
lot over here. You can just see them hanging off if you look at the underside here. Yeah, they look like some fruitful vines
and we just
by the side of your house.
we planted that for privacy purposes, not just for the grapes themselves. That gives us a little more privacy from the neighbors.
Yeah,
So it's worked out really well so far.
and it looks pretty too.
Yeah, it's a nice. You got a nice gate there, and it's just a pretty little edge of the yard.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, could you show people your progress on the pergola?
ooh, there's not a whole lot of progress. I've been too busy doing everything else.
Oh, you don't have to then if you don't want to.
I'll look here and see if it's. I got the roof metal, the standing seam roof on it. And the door jams in, but I haven't done
Oh, you're already using it.
it. Yeah, she's been doing some pitting of cherries out here. We got apricots to put in the dryer.
Yeah.
Those are windfalls.
You got a little hanging basket holder over here, hook
Yeah,
for a hanging basket.
and we got some herbs in pots, and I got the doors all made. The doors
yeah?
are done, and all the little spindles. The lower section going to be spindles, and these are this stuff. You know, there's a cap that goes on here,
Mm-hmm.
and to dress this up a bit. You know, they go like that,
Yeah, to
and
Go around
all
there.
around.
yeah.
And then we got screen that'll go in here, and the spindles, and kind of got unique little doors for it.
Yeah, it'll be neat to see when you get it finished.
It's coming. It just takes time when you're doing everything else.
Yeah.
Flowers are doing okay. Pear trees actually got
What?
pears on
There's
it.
pears on there.
Yeah. We just
There's
planted
one over
that.
here.
There's 4 of them on there.
Sure enough.
Anyway,
Wow. That's nice.
yeah. And somebody just gave us some oak trees. We'll see what happens with those. So,
A potted oak tree. That'll be
Yeah.
interesting.
and we pulled out the food dryer to gonna be drying apricots and maybe some cherries. Here's the food dryer that I made. You probably saw it in one of our other videos, possibly.
Yeah.
And the trays, and it'll hold a lot of food, onions in there and fruit and whatever. And
Yeah.
so that works good.
Hey, that was a fun walkthrough, Dad. Thanks for walking us through your garden and also the tips on pollinating the crookneck and
Yeah,
the zucchini.
Uh-huh.
And then also some on trellising the tomatoes up and
Lettuce thinning and
mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, a little few tips on that. So hope you guys all enjoyed that garden tour. That was fun. If you'd like that, hey, leave us a comment down in the section below. Remember to subscribe if you aren't subscribed yet. It really helps our channel get out in front and center, and then that helps us get more support financially to do what we're doing here and make more videos like this. So the more you support us, hey, that means more videos coming your way.
Yeah.
If you haven't yet, please visit our store. It's sutherlandorganics.com. And what can you find there, Dad?
I think you can find about any amendment that you want for your garden. We use a lot of different things here, and we have them all there at the store, and along with some seeds, tomato seeds, giant tomato seeds, other kind of vegetables.
And also starting mixes and potting mixes. Well, actually, one starting mix and one potting mix, but they're the culmination of our development so far. And we've been getting a lot of good reviews on both of them. So check them out there, and you'll be surprised and happy. Especially the starting mixes has been really
the quality is no more chunks in your starting mix. It's all nice and fine and very consistent.
Yeah, and it performs really well too. Obviously, we've been doing trials and testing on it, and we've come with the best solution so far. And we keep
Tweaking
testing it and making sure that it's the best. And so, doing little grow tests and that kind of thing, germination tests, and everything. So, hey, if you haven't seen that yet, check us out there on the website. and we'll be happy to ship you your order. Usually it'll ship within 24 hours. If you order by 12 noon Eastern time, we'll get your order out the same day. So yeah, that's sutherlandorganics.com. Also, we have a Patreon page, and if you want to go there, you can support us there too. Yeah, I feel like kind of funny just always asking for financial support, but that's the truth of it, because any operation worth anything always needs to be financially supported in some way. And so whether it's you guys watching our videos, which we thank you for, that brings in revenue. Also, you can just buy some of our products, that does as well. And another thing that we like to mention is any video that we produce, you can go down into the video description, and in that video description we usually have Amazon links. So you can just find any Amazon link, click that Amazon link, and then go do some shopping within 24 hours from Amazon. Just any old shopping, doesn't matter. You can buy some clothes, a hat, whatever. Doesn't have to be
garden related or anything.
No, you can buy a car if they sell cars on Amazon. And we'll get a commission, actually. So that's a way you can support our channel without any extra effort, really. It only probably takes 30 seconds. Go find our video, click a link, then it'll take you right to Amazon, then just start shopping and buy. So we really appreciate that. That's a super easy way, and it's a really convenient way to support our work here without, if you don't want to pay subscription or whatever. So thank you in advance for your support, every one of you, you Patreon supporters, members on our channel on YouTube here, and subscribers. Thank you very much, making all this possible for Dad and I to put out these videos. So our next video is coming up the pipeline, is a video on trellising up and pruning up your tomatoes. So we're going to do that just shortly here, and so that'll be coming on. And then there's going to be a video on your secret tomatoes.
Oh, yeah. That might be a really short clip.
If I can persuade him, guys, we might be able to get a sneak peek of some tomatoes in the greenhouse.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Well, keep checking the channel. I don't know. You guys will have to find out. I'll see if I can twist his arm right. Just a second.
Ouch.
Hey, I think it's working. Hey, we might get one. No. So we have a video hopefully on that coming out, and then
can do one on the zucchini, growing zucchini vertical.
Yeah,
and pruning.
Yeah, pruning zucchini. So we're gonna do a video on that, Lord willing, and then I think we have another one coming up after that at some point of the actual harvesting of those big tomatoes. So there's multiple. There's not just one in the greenhouse. I'll spoiler alert. There's a number of them.
Yeah,
and so,
it'd probably be a couple, 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, so that'll be exciting, and see what happens there. So those are being closely monitored. It's like, you know, I'm not his baby anymore. He has more babies over in the greenhouse. Yeah. No.
You're pampered.
Yeah.
You're not pampered anymore.
No, he hardly talks to me on the... No, I was kidding. No. So stick around if you want to see more of that. That's pretty exciting stuff coming up. We got a couple more products we'll be dropping in the store too, launching. Then we got some sulfur, elemental sulfur, should be putting up there shortly, and then some, probably a mix blend of aragonite. So we're going to be putting that up there as well. So you can have another calcium source for either your chickens or your gardening. So that's kind of important. And before we go, I want to leave you with one verse, and that is in Acts 16:31. The verse is, "Believe on the Lord Jesus Christ, and thou shalt be saved." We'll see you in the next one.